Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. Thank you for being here. My name is Andrew, coming to you from the beautiful Carolinas. Today's topic is going to be the canvas of truth was painted with lies. Think about that for a minute. Everyone, if you like the content, please like, subscribe, and share. So the canvas, that is you. The lies, yes, you guessed it, they are the smear campaign. And you were painted left, right, and center, up and down with so many lies. The narcissist knew what they were doing when they were in the relationship with you, and one of the tactics that they use to divide you and anything that matters to you is the smear campaign. And back then, remember, you didn't know what narcissism was. You didn't know that it was prevalent on the planet. You didn't know that perhaps you even fell in love with a narcissist. But what you did know is that that relationship moved at light speed, and over a period of time, once the narcissist knew they had you, i.e. post love bomb / euphoric stage, they placed you in the devaluation stage, and that, I am certain, is when many of the smear campaign techniques came out. This is when you lost your ideas about your friends, meaning they weren't talking to you much longer, or they were treating you differently, or the narcissist was telling you, yeah, I don't really like those people, your friends, like even though you've known them for 10, 20, 30 years, I don't really get along with them, maybe you shouldn't be seeing them that much. And the narcissist was isolating you, and they were trying to drive wedges between you and your friends, your hobbies, everything like I talked about. But the canvas of truth was you. Think about who you were before you met the narcissist. You were most likely a kind, loving, empathetic, stable, healthy person, fulfilling your life. Maybe you even had rose-tinted glasses on. Maybe you were a people pleaser, etc. But you didn't know about narcissism. So what happened is when the narcissist met you, they sized you up. And they were trying to figure out what made you you. They learned about your hopes, your dreams, your aspirations, your goals. They learned about your past. They learned about your present. They learned about your future and what you wanted to do. And when they got really close to you and they finally got in a relationship with you, whether it was romantic, friendship, business, colleague, neighbor, person in a hobby group or community you were a part of, etc., that's when they began to really do damage to you. That's when they began to step on the gas pedal of abuse. That's when they began to divide you and anything, and I mean anything that mattered to you. The smear campaign, for those of you who don't know what it is, it's when the narcissist is spreading flat out lies about you. They're twisting the truth. They are not supporting you in any way, shape, or form. They are communicating with people that you know about or even people that you don't know about, and they're telling things that are not true about you. Example, you were a bad spouse. You were not good to the kids. You didn't pay the bills. You always complained. You never cooked. You didn't clean. You didn't grab a shower. You didn't shave. Who knows? They would make up whatever they wanted to. And when you are experiencing bits and pieces of the smear campaign throughout a relationship with the narcissist, you're watching your life implode. It's almost as if it is a train wreck happening in real life, but this is your life. And you were the canvas of truth. You still are. But back then, you didn't know what narcissism was. And you had to go through that relationship to experience the narcissistic abusive cycle. And did you want to do it? No, I didn't either. I wish that nobody would have ever gone through the cycle. But unfortunately, that's the way it is on the planet. But having said that, when you were naive and you didn't know about the narcissist, you were ripe for the picking. You were a person who could be targeted easily. And if you do or did have a high level of empathy, the narcissist knew that you did not want to give up on them or on the relationship because the narcissist is a professional manipulator. They had blown up many relationships before they met you. Most likely they blew up your relationship, and they're blowing up relationships left, right, and center right now without you being in it, thank goodness. Now, once you understand what narcissism is and how it affected you for a period of time, you can go back and you can remember certain key moments in that relationship. And were there some good moments? Of course there were. Were there some not so good moments? There were many. Was there toxicity sprinkled all in and around that relationship, specifically during holidays, your birthday, graduations, events, celebrations, weekends, barbecues? Of course. This is what the narcissistic abusive cycle does. It goes around and around and around in a loop. And you were right in the middle of it for a period of time, which was the length of the relationship. And the narcissist was painting you, the naive, beautiful, bright, shining light. They were painting you with the smear campaign. They were painting you with all of their toxicity. They were gaslighting you. They were giving you the silent treatment. They were throwing rage fits on you. They were triangulating you. They were giving you bits and pieces of the smear campaign right in front of your face. Example, Let's say that some people stopped by to visit you and they checked in with you, and let's say your spouse who turned out to be the narcissist. Okay, well, maybe you're spending a few moments with them. Maybe they stopped in for an hour or two, or maybe you visited them, who knows? Well, maybe one of the husbands or the wives would say to you, hey, everything seems to be going pretty well in your relationship. But, and when they would say that to you, you'd be scratching your head saying, well, yeah, everything's going fine. But you didn't address it, but that was a red flag. And back then you didn't know, why would somebody say that to you? I will tell you exactly why. Because the narcissist, your spouse, was telling that couple that you were not a good person, but you didn't know it back then. And so one of the spouses, like I said, they would talk to you, or they said something to you, and they would say, hey, everything seems to be going well with you guys. Oh, well, that's good. And you're like, why would you say that? Of course everything's going good. Why you said everything was going good is because you were in the narcissistic fog and you thought things were going good, but you knew you were being peppered with abuse, but you didn't know what it was, i.e. you didn't know it was narcissistic abuse. But that person saying that things appear to be good, that gave you a hint that something's off, that somebody was saying that things weren't right in your relationship. And guess who that was? That's right, that was the narcissist, perhaps the person you married. That is a long version of a real life experience, what happens with the narcissist and how they want to isolate you from people. The narcissist does not want you to succeed. They do not want you to thrive. They do not want you to do better than them. They did want to take away your beautiful, bright, shining light. They did want to paint you, the beautiful canvas, who perhaps was naive and didn't know about narcissism. They wanted to paint you every which way they could with all of their toxicity, like I mentioned. And you were supposed to sit there and take it until you couldn't, or until the relationship broke. Or if you're one of the fortunate and strong people, you ended it yourself. But again, something had to break, something had to give in that relationship, because the narcissist was peppering you and layering on more and more abuse, administering it to you, and driving wedges between you and your hobbies, your friends, your network, your health, your money, your time, your energy, the kids, everything. Now, why the narcissist would do this? It's because the narcissist is never satisfied and never satiated with one source of supply. Whether you have a wedding ring on or not, that doesn't mean one thing to the narcissist. Remember, the wedding to the narcissist was supply. Planning for the wedding was supply. Inviting who they wanted to go to the wedding was supply. Not inviting people they didn't want to go was giving them supply. And the narcissist looked forward to planning the wedding. And when the wedding bells rang and the cake was cut and the guests went home and you now have a ring on your finger and you're feeling good about yourself because you just got married, well, that's the last place you actually should have been, because you just married the narcissist and you didn't know about it back then. But that's when the devaluation really began. It's as soon as the wedding bells rang. And if you want the truth, many times it happens even before the wedding bells ring. But again, when you're committed to getting married and you have plans and you've spent money and you're in love, etc., and you're in the narcissistic fog, well, it's kind of too late to pull out of the wedding for most people. There are some people that I've worked with that have actually pulled out of the wedding before the wedding took place, but those people are few and far between. But they sensed something was off and they removed themselves from the relationship ahead of the train wreck. The rest of us, we went through the ceremony and we got married, and then we realized soon enough the honeymoon wouldn't be taking place. The wedding bells were just a formality. The ring would come off the spouse's hand multiple times throughout the relationship and slam down on the kitchen counter. Why? Because they weren't honoring the vows that they took in front of so many people. Because they don't believe in marriage the way you do. Because they don't honor commitment. Because they are a narcissist and because they wanted to break that relationship. These are examples of what the narcissist is capable of doing and what the narcissist does. Each and every day as I'm creating these videos, the narcissistic relationships all over the planet are being entered and the other ones are being ended. And remember, when you met the narcissist, you were new, you were naive, you were a new shiny object, you were somebody that the narcissist could paint with all of their ugliness, all of their toxicity. And again, if you had the option to read the 2-page report when you met the narcissist as to what they would do to you, and you knew exactly who they were and you were now educated on narcissism, you would not have entered that relationship. Nobody in their right mind would have. I certainly wouldn't have, but that's not what happened. The narcissist tricked you and trapped you, and they had you fall in love with them when they could not fall in love with you. And they had a plan for you for a period of time. Maybe it was until the kids got into high school or university. Maybe it was until they took all of your money. Maybe it was until your health took a hit. Maybe it was all of the above, who knows? But the narcissist saw an opportunity in you, in the people before you, and in the new supply, i.e. new supplies after you. This is why the cycle will continue to go on and on, unfortunately. It must go on without you. That's why I suggest in every video to go no contact, to block these people, delete them, remove them, and all flying monkeys and people associated with them. If not now, when? In the beginning of the video, I mentioned to you the canvas of truth was painted with lies. Now, post-narcissistic relationship, once you've healed, you understand that you know so much about narcissism. You know so much about the narcissist. You know the glossary, the definitions, the terms. You have put those and coupled those with your real life experience, which equals wisdom, and you now understand that you are the priority. You come first, second, and third. And you did have to endure the smear campaign. Maybe you're even enduring it right now. My suggestion for tackling the smear campaign is take the high road, do the right thing, drown out the narcissist, let them choke themselves out, because whoever is consuming the Kool-Aid of the smear campaign, they most likely are a flying monkey or a toxic person themselves, or they don't have your best interest at heart. So does their opinion really matter? No, it doesn't. What really matters on this planet is your opinion. And when you were in that relationship with the narcissist, you put them high in the pedestal and you listened to them. You did what they wanted you to do, with whom and how. And you were the unpaid helper. You were the walking apology. You were the sounding board. You were the chauffeur. You were the pool person. You were the person who paid the bills and raised the kids, etc. You did everything you possibly could have. You gave to a fault. So be kind to yourself. Be nice to yourself. But understand, you are and you were the canvas of truth. Now, post-relationship, once you have healed, you have a voice that you were not allowed to use when you were in the relationship, a voice that you can now use to pay it forward. You can take a class, teach a class, read a book, write a book. You can travel, you can educate people, you can share your wisdom. You can identify things and flaws and characteristics in people in your own immediate group that perhaps they need help, and you can share some of your insights with them if you wanted to, or you can do nothing. You can sit back from afar and observe and just watch the world and observe how it was and how it is what I meant to say. Because maybe you don't want to give back. Maybe you don't want to use your energy. Maybe you want to still stay in that cocoon of boundaries and continue to educate yourself and become awakened and empowered. The whole idea is post-relationship, you can do whatever you want to do because the narcissist is removed and they are no longer in your life, etc. But you are the canvas of truth. If you want to use your voice, you use it. If you don't want to, you don't want to. You drowned out the smear campaign. The smear campaign was meant to inflict more damage upon you. It was meant to twist the knife even deeper into you, and it was meant to divide more and more wedges between you and your network or your support system. But the smear campaign, like everything the narcissist implements of all their tools of destruction and devastation, it backfires so many times. Because eventually people that drank the Kool-Aid of the smear campaign when you were discarded, they're realizing that perhaps they're a target now, or they're realizing that the narcissist isn't who they thought they were, or they're realizing that, wait, there's one common denominator, and it wasn't you, the person that got discarded, it's the narcissist. They again perhaps have discarded somebody after you, maybe even another person after you. So all the friends of the narcissist, all the flying monkeys, all the people that the narcissist surrounds themselves with, these people are always interchangeable, and they are always potential targets, and they are observing and watching the narcissist up close and from afar. And they know who the narcissist is, and they know that the narcissist is a weak coward, a shallow, hollow, empty person. There's nothing to them. Yeah, they do have the loudest voice many times, but they do not have any love inside of them. They don't love anybody. They have no empathy. All they care about is ruining people's lives and painting people in a dark context. In other words, smearing them. But you are the canvas of truth. You were the canvas of truth, and now you will be forever, because you've gone through something that most people don't go through. You've beaten the narcissistic abusive cycle. You are headed towards the pinnacle of indifference, the mountaintop of indifference, where you no longer care about the narcissist. You no longer care about the smear campaign. You no longer care about anything from that period of time, because you've healed and you've taken the lifelong learning lessons and you've applied them to present day. And you are now slowing your life down. You are now living in the present moment, and you are not predicting the future. You're taking everything one day at a time, and you do not give any energy to the smear campaign. You see, the smear campaign was meant to keep you stuck, and it was meant to keep you explaining yourself and defending yourself and giving your side of the story to people that actually don't care. They don't care one bit. Many of the people that stuck around with the narcissist when you were discarded or stayed friends with the narcissist, they are doing it for a couple reasons. One, they're trying to get something out of the narcissist. Two, they're a narcissist themselves. Or three, maybe they're reliant upon the narcissist for finances, or maybe it's their mom or dad or brother, sister, or something like that, and they will remain loyal to the toxic, dark energy force. That's what these people do. But that's not you. You're a beautiful, bright, shining light. You've gone through something and you've conquered it and you've beaten it. And now you're on the other side and you're at the mountaintop, the pinnacle of indifference, where it is a beautiful view from way high up top there. That's the place where many of us are waiting for you to arrive. That's the place where the narcissist can never get to. That's a place where the narcissist never thought you would arrive at. And that is a place that now you have the wisdom, you've acquired the wisdom, and you're utilizing the tools that are provided for you on the channel and in the community, and you understand the smear campaign, whoever is listening to it, they can listen to it all day long. It doesn't mean a thing. People's opinions don't mean anything. What matters is what you're doing. Are you living your best life? Are you moving forward? Have you become educated and empowered? Have you healed properly? Have you journaled? Have you meditated? Have you slowed your life down? Have you watched videos, maybe even seen a therapist, healed childhood wounds, etc.? Have you looked all around your support system and your network and the people that you grew up with and your immediate family members and some friends that you currently have? Have you identified, is there any other toxicity currently in your life right now? You've probably done all of the above, or you're doing it right now. You're doing the deep dive on yourself, and you have to do the deep dive on yourself after you do the deep dive on narcissism and what that cycle and then what that relationship did to you. It's the path, it's the natural path of exploration and education that we all go down. And that's what you're doing, and that's what I've done. That's why when you were the canvas of truth, you were painted with lies. You were supposed to take the bait. That was what the narcissist was hoping. They were hoping that you were going to continue to play the game with them longer and longer, but you didn't, because you took the high road. You did nothing. You went radio silent. You took the high road. You healed. You learned about yourself, and you relocated most likely, and you slowed your life down, and now you're putting yourself back together, or you already have put yourself back together, and now you look back at the narcissist and you say, wow, you really, really gave it your best shot. You tried every cheap tactic possible to take me down for the count, but you failed, and you failed miserably like you always do. And you are stuck in that narcissistic existence, a place where you had me trapped for a period of time, but I'm out. I am now vibrating high, where I vibrated way before I met you, and where I will always vibrate for the rest of my life. But you're stuck in that cycle, in that loop, and you need people because you can't regulate yourself, and you need 3 smartphones, and you need to abuse people because that makes you feel good, because at your core you are a toxic narcissistic individual. So everyone, that's the video. I hope you liked it. I loved doing it from the beautiful Carolinas. This is Andrew. Namaste. Have a great afternoon, evening, or morning, no matter where you are on the planet. You are not alone. Remember that. You are not alone. God bless you. I love you all, and I'll talk to you tomorrow. And the canvas of lies was the canvas of truth was painted with lies. That is a very appropriate title for video. I thought of this video about a year ago, and today was the perfect day to do it, because many of you are going through the smear campaign currently, and it's not a fun experience to go through it. Don't give it energy. Take the high road. Continue to focus on yourself. Stay no contact and heal. I love you all. God bless you, and I will talk to you tomorrow. Bye, everybody.